Greetings from the International Hellenic University, where we inaugurated today the 7th Child Rights Center with Academia in Greece. This university, same as the other previous 6 universities, has committed to promoting child rights, to generating evidence-based knowledge on children and their situation, and to incorporating child rights into curricula of the university. These are the 3 main pillars of the Child Rights Centers, and this is the 7th Child Rights Center in Greece committing to working towards achieving them. We are very proud and happy in UNICEF to achieve so far with our academia partners 7 Child Rights Centers, and we will continue the journey to make sure that all the 13 administrative regions of Greece have child rights centers. Today our topic is early childhood development and parenting, an extremely important topic. Parenting needs a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, but unfortunately there is no degree to study parenting. So parents become responsible at certain point of life for children, to raise children, to make sure that their children's development is sound and their children are developing to their fullest potentials. But how to do that needs a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills. Needs basic knowledge of psychology, basic knowledge of sociology, basic knowledge of social work interventions when needed, basic knowledge of brain development of the infant, of all phases of childhood. All these areas of knowledge are needed for a good parenting, for appropriate interventions by the parents. Not to mention also the basic knowledge in medical interventions, in how to deal, how to detect serious health problems in children, and how to take the appropriate measures, and how to consult a medical doctor and a pediatrician when needed. But today the focus will be on the relationship with children. So in early childhood development, it's extremely important as a first message to interact all the time positively, actively, and constructively with children. It's not good at all to leave babies for hours just looking at the ceiling or just doing nothing. The brain of the child should be stimulated all, and the child's skills grow as well by seeing different colors, by touching different textures, by hearing music, but also mentioning music. The music should be very much appropriate to children. It should be a classical music where all the musical tones are appropriate to the child, not complex, and the music is very simple. The music of Mozart, for instance, is great for children because it helps them to develop their cognitive skills. Discovery, I mean, taking the child outside, taking the babies outside, of course, in safe environments, but seeing different kinds of trees, seeing different colors, feeling the air, feeling smelling in the park, the different types of smells, everything. All these are great enablers and stimulators to the child's brain. So this is one key message for parents: keep the brain of your children stimulated appropriately and positively. And as children grow and according to Article 12 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1989, as children grow, we should take into account age and maturity. And also linked to Article 5 of the Convention on Rights and Duties of Parents, we should know that children with age and maturity, they would be developing their skills and their knowledge, and parental guidance, which would be guiding them for all the time, should be diminishing in a way that enables the child to be the decision maker, but always according to age and maturity. And this is where we come into the theory of the evolving capacities of children. So parents providing all the time positive, constructive parental guidance free of any violence, and children growing and their maturity growing as well, and being able to make important decisions in their life. And this is the theory in general in human rights, because also overprotection becomes an abuse of power, whether by parents or by governments or by any authority. That's why we should respect this evolving capacity factor, and granting more and more trust and enabling the capacity of taking appropriate decisions by the children while they are going into their journey towards adulthood. Having said this, we should also mention that during the first 6 years, let us talk about the first 1,000 days. During the first 1,000 days of childhood, the child develops most of the skills that are needed in life in general. And this is what has been published by UNICEF in the Lancet, where the study shows that the first 1,000 days of life are so crucial. But also, psychology teaches us that in the first 4 to 6 years of life, the biggest part of the subconscious is formed. And also by 8 years, a lot of the skills and a lot of the cognitive capabilities are already formed. That's why we should grant this period of life of children an extreme and utmost importance, and we should be very close to the children. I mean, children need their parents to take care of them, to support them. They need to feel all the time supported by their parents. And the biggest mistake that parents may do is when they say to their child, if you do that, I may abandon you. Or if you do that, I will stop loving you. Love to children should be unconditional all the time. The child should never feel that the parents may abandon her or him. This is where the social security, psychological safety of the child, of the human being comes from. And as we say in psychology, feelings travel with us throughout our life. So if those affected negatively or damaged during childhood, also the negative effects will travel with the human being throughout life. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very prudent. We have to be very intelligent in dealing with children while empowering them. And for this to happen, parents need to learn. Parents need to explore brain development of children, how the brain develops, how the adolescent may do some wrong things, but as part of development, and how at all times when we discipline children, it should be disciplining in a positive manner. it should be always a non-violent disciplining. And we should always find positive alternative ways to any violent disciplining. And violent disciplining could be corporal punishment, could be violent psychological verbal terms towards the child, could be neglect as well. Neglecting a child is also a passive form of violence that would leave a lot of negative effects on the whole life of the child. So if we want our children to feel comfortable with themselves, if we want our children to live in peace with themselves, we have to empower them with love. Parents should be the best leaders with love, the best leaders with compassion. The Convention on the Rights of the Child in its preamble mentions understanding and love as a right. The only human rights convention that mentions love is the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and it has been ratified by 196 countries. So it's the convention that got the highest number of ratifications among all human rights instruments. This convention, along with many other instruments, along with psychological studies, along with studies in sociology, social work, child development, all confirm that the early childhood period is extremely important to the whole life of the human being. And also these studies confirm that parenting is not an easy task. And to be a good parent, we should learn a lot, and we should at the same time observe the good model. And mentioning models, I would like to say that children follow the model of their parents. And this is how we break the cycle of violence in the society. So if children see that their parents are leading them with love, with compassion, with understanding, then they would do the same, and they will act in the same way in the society. And this is how we reach a society which has more justice, which is more compassionate, and which brings more happiness in life.